Hi, Goodwin, editor of LaunchWhileWorking.com. I wanted to take a quick few minutes to share with you one of the hottest blog posts this week over at our site. It's all about 9 reasons your email list isn't growing. Now, this blog was inspired by the recent 1515 email marketing challenge. Some of you already know that we're ramping up for our 1515 blogging challenge, which will be next month, and I'm partnering with Shannon Hernandez, the writing whisperer, on that adventure. We've got lots of cool new stuff planned to the next 1515 challenge. But this blog post was inspired by what's been happening in the 1515 challenge group that we have on Facebook. People are there asking questions, getting answers, and making connections. And in response to some of the questions that had come up, even after the challenge was over, I decided to put together an infographic that outlined reasons why people were having trouble with their list. So I'm going to scroll, and I'm going to actually start with number 9, and then I'll work my way up. So number 9, your potential subscribers don't really want your opt-in offer. Now, I've been there before where I created something that I thought was really, really cool, but nobody wanted it but me. And so sometimes you can create an opt-in offer that sounds like a good idea in your mind, but it's not something that your customers want. And if they don't want it, they're not going to sign up. I don't care how pretty the cover is. I don't care how smooth and nice your graphics look. If it doesn't meet a need, they will not opt into your list. Number 8. You're doing everything by yourself, no cross-promotion opportunities. That's been one of the great things I think about the 1515 Facebook group, is that people have a chance to connect with other people and they can find cross-promotion opportunities. It makes so much sense to have somebody else with a list that you can get in front of their audience, and they can get in front of your audience when you cross-promote. So that's number 8. Number 7, you're a stranger. Let them know you before you ask them to opt in. Here's what I mean by that. There are times when you might be sending emails out to people that you just met at a networking event. They still don't know you. In fact, they don't even remember how they got your card or why they gave you their card. If they don't know you, please don't invite them to your list just yet. Give them little samples and breadcrumbs, as I like to call them, that lead them to the conclusion that, hey, they really want to be connected with you on a deeper level and they'd like to opt into your list. But if you're a stranger, don't be alarmed when you're putting yourself out there at networking events, or what I see lots of people do is putting themselves out there in groups on Facebook where they're a stranger and their very first post is, join my list. Not a good move. Number 6, your sign-up box is buried, hard to find, or just downright ugly. Now, I know there are some email service providers out there that offer these great programs or great services, but their email boxes are just ugly. They don't give you a chance to add a graphic. The font is small and light. There's nothing that pops out. You can't really do a good call to action. Or I know some people that they put their sign-up box way down in the bottom corner, and it simply says, sign up for my newsletter. It really isn't an attractive thing to people when they're coming to your site. You want to make that stand out. You want to make it pop. You want to make that opt-in offer so inviting visually about what you're saying, the words that you're using, that it makes sense for your opt-ins, or your, as I call them, your VIPs, that they really, really want to get what you're offering. Number 5, you don't track what works and what doesn't work. So here's what I hear people say, well, I put that on Facebook. Well, how often did you do it? Well, I put it on Facebook once a week and I only got one person that signed up. Well, Facebook moves pretty fast, just like Twitter and LinkedIn. In fact, everything that we're exposed to these days moves really fast. So you have to be a constant presence out there. So now I already hear the wheels turning. You're probably wondering, does that mean that I have to spend 9 hours a day on social media? Absolutely not. You use a cool tool like Hootsuite to actually automate your social media postings. So that way you set it up once a week or once a month and off you go. But you have to keep track of what works and what doesn't work. Your email service provider should be able to tell you where you're getting your links from. Is it coming from Facebook? Are they coming from, people doing organic searches for certain keywords, and that's how people are finding your site and clicking the link to your landing page? So you want to be able to track what's working and what doesn't work. Do less of what's not working and do more of what is working. Number 4, you don't know how to get more traffic to your website so they can see your offer. Do you know how many blogs are created each month? Do you know how many things we're inundated with all day every time we jump online? Just because you created a blog and you posted a link on Facebook or Twitter doesn't mean that everybody in the universe, or let's be real, everybody even in your network sees it or is going to click on it. Once you create your opt-in offer and you keep adding relevant, valuable content for your audience, you still have to do the work of marketing your blog. How do you get people? And there is a product that we created that really talks about how do you drive people to your email list? How do you get more traffic? And I'll share a link where you can find out more about that at the end of this video. Number 3 is inconsistency. You promote your opt-in offer every 2 weeks, and that's probably not effective. Remember, everything moves super fast. So if I'm on Facebook at 6 o'clock in the morning and only 6 o'clock in the morning every day, but you make your post at 8 o'clock at night, I may never see your opportunity. So you have to post more than once a day, and you have to post more than every 2 weeks. You really want to develop a consistent schedule for what you're sharing, when you're sharing it, and where you're sharing. That will help you get more opt-ins on your list. Let's take a look at number 2. You haven't really set an intention. How many subscribers do you really want each week? When I ask clients, they say, well, I just want to grow my list. Well, what does that mean? If you got one more person this week than you had last week, well, you really did grow your list, but it wasn't by much. So set an intention. For one of my lists, my plan is to grow it by 200 subscribers every month. Now that can seem like it's kind of hefty, but I've got a strategy in place. I am doing guest blogging. I am inviting guest bloggers to that site. I've got a whole plan in place for how I intend to get more eyes on that site using guest blogging and cross promotion, even speaking opportunities, because I have an intention and a goal, a reachable goal that I'm working towards. So that's number 2. And number 1, and this is probably the biggest thing, and I know some of you are tired of hearing me say this, but you don't have a clear target audience. Remember, marketing to everyone really is marketing to no one. Unless you have the budget to saturate the entire universe with your marketing messages, or maybe you have the staff to meet the needs of everyone in your city, then maybe you could market to everyone. But otherwise, you really want to find that target audience, those very interested prospects, those VIPs that are hungry for what you're offering right now, and they're willing to pay you for it. Those are the people you want to invest your time marketing. So instead of blasting out your offers to 25 different Facebook groups or even LinkedIn groups, find the top 10 groups that you really want to establish a presence in. And those are the 10 groups that you place your opt-in offer carefully after you've shared great content, after you've interacted with other people in the group, after you've answered some questions. You don't just want to spam them with your offer over and over again. You want your offering to be seasoning in a stream of relevant, useful, helpful content that you share throughout the other time that you're on your social networking platforms. But setting that target audience is so important because that allows you to know who you're speaking to and really get to the heart of what they need. You know, somebody who's been in business for 15 years has a very different need for someone who's been in business 5 years or 5 months. So if you're trying to reach both of those audiences, it might be hard because they have different needs. And that's in any niche or field. You're going to have beginners and experts. You're going to have people that are motivated to buy live, products versus self-study products. You're going to have people that want a face-to-face coaching event rather than a virtual coaching event. You really need to understand your audience and what they want, how you can best serve them, and that's doing a deeper dive into getting to understand exactly who you're meant and purposed to serve. It's one of the things I teach in my Mapping Your Market Strategy sessions, and you can find out more about that at tygoodwin.com. But those Mapping Your Market Strategy sessions, we spend 90 minutes and some free work before we get to the 90-minute call, but we spend some time really doing a deep dive on exactly who you want to focus on now. And I say now because I do understand you might have a vision that serves 10 different people, but you can't start serving all 10 today. Let's focus on who you want to serve first and who you want to serve now, and put a plan into place to establish your credibility and trust with that group, and then you can branch off to the other groups later. Okay? So that's the Mapping Your Market brilliant breakthrough strategy session. I'll share with you how you can sign up for that as well. But if you want to stop by launchwhilewworking.com, you can check out this infographic that we have on 9 reasons your email list isn't growing. We've got some other fantastic things there at the blog. And make sure, if you haven't signed up for the email list, that you do sign up for 10 ideas for finding your next client. That's our new e-course. You can sign up for that. You'll get our newsletter and you'll get 10 ideas emailed to you about every other day on how you can find your next client. I've already gotten some feedback from people. They said, oh, these are great ideas. I never thought of that. So you don't want to miss that. Now, I know I gave you a lot, but guess what? This is a video, so you can rewind away if you missed something, and I'm going to have the links in here for you afterwards. So hang on, I'll share the links with you. And until next time, live on purpose, work your passion, practice prosperity, and stay brilliant. This is Ty Goodwin. I'll see you online.